Hello and a warm welcome to my YouTube channel where I try to educate viewers over technical analysis on index and stocks. Now, in this video, I have covered Nifty on what could possibly lie ahead now, keeping in mind the global scenario. And we also have one major national internal trigger coming up this week, the assembly election results and how going forward that could impact the movement of the index. In my last video, link given in the description box, I had tried to explain the Nifty's 200 exponential moving average impact on how it works as a support and as a resistance and so on, and the other moving averages according to that. So let's now update on it uh, as to what lies ahead for us from here. Now we can see that in the daily time frame that it tried the very next day after 24th, that's the major sell-off we had on the settlement day, to regain this level of the 200 moving average out here. We can see how it tried to push it up, tried it for 2 sessions and then again move down. And this was covered in the last video that Nifty will keep swinging initially, till it just doesn't give up like that. It keeps on swinging, keeps on trying, making trading more difficult, and in this extremely volatile scenario and highly risky. Now let's see what the weekly is suggesting out here. Now that we are, we've spent quite a few days below the daily 200 EMA. Now it's not seeing that. Let's look at 465. Yeah. So in the weekly also we can see that when it broke the daily broke the 200 EMA, the weekly also broke its 34 EMA and is now extremely close to the 63 EMA, the next major support, which is at around 16,020 odd levels out here. So, this particular scenario is suggesting that that if it holds, great, it will do the attempted bounce back from here. But before we conclude that this is a major support, let's see how it has worked in the past. As a support or not. So here is one, which is September 2020 odd level, and before that, if we go, then the support is being seen once near in March 2018, and then it goes quite back, in June 2015 out here. This one was back, went back, gave up. So usually, there are three instances only where this has actually worked as a major level of support. Now, where does actually the weekly get its support once the 34 gives up? Does the 100 and the 63 work that favor? So let's look at what the 108 is telling us. So if this doesn't hold, this particular level, 16,000 odd level, plus minus 100 points will give it, because it's the weekly. We have Monday and Tuesday, early part of the week. It could breach below that and come back also. So the 16,000, 15,900 to 16,000, 16,100 level out here, if it breaks, then what happens after that? And that's what the interesting factor is, that the Nifty rarely respects the 63 line in the weekly. It tends to go all the way down to 108 most of the time. So even in the September 2020 bounce, which we see, the 108 was there. We can see that in August of 2019, the 34 did not hold. What held the market was the 108. Again, in September 2018, if we go further back, we can see that the 108 works much better as a support. Here too, we can see in 2016 December, the 108 works once the 34 gives up its support level. So all in all, if this fails to hold, then we know where we are heading. Right now, it's at 14,850. So this will also be inching up if we don't anticipate this to do a straight dump down. So this level will be something interesting to watch out for. Now, coincidentally, the 16,000 level plus minus 100 also has a gap out here. On Friday, Nifty covered one gap. It covered the gap of August 4th, which was 16,175, 16,145. This gap got covered. There's one gap a day before that on August 3rd, which is at 15,914 to 15,892. So, like I said, plus minus 100, this 15,900 is a bigger psychological support or a stronger support than the 16,000 level. So, if there is a global week opening tomorrow or during the course of the week, it tends to test that level. And if this level holds of 15,900, then we could be talking about a possibility of a pullback out here, as we could see it also in the weekly, that the pullbacks happen from that level. If we go back just a bit and see, yeah, in the weekly, that how the market did a pullback out here, then came down to test it. So going forward, that's the scenario right now. Crucial level coming up in our screen, if held, then gives the opportunity for a bounce back. Now, whether this is a bottom or whether this is just a bounce back till 17,000, 16, what do you call, right now at 16,900, 34 EMA and the daily confluence of all the moving averages out here. This is the first one, 16,700. And then these ones will be around 17,000 odd levels. So if you're going to first, I would suggest that it would be a better idea to look for a bounce. Don't jump to a conclusion that this is a bottom. If it becomes a bottom and it turns and goes all the way, moves up, fantastic. Otherwise, a relief rally kind of scenario looks to be in the making if this helps. If this doesn't hold, you know where it's going down all the way. So no catching the falling knife if this level is not going to be respected. Look for triggers slightly on the upside. An upside trigger level would be yesterday's intraday attempt at open. I would say open of 16,339. If market sustains above this level for an hour, then yes, good chances of this being held in that way. So all in all, no clear bottom, no clear scenario suggesting that it's a reversal. Still continues to bleed, still showing weakness. So don't rush into a trade on the what do you call it, on the buying side or like that. Keep your tight stop losses in place. And I hope this video is helpful to you all. So please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And before we end, kindly consider this only from the education point of view. This is not a trading advice. Please do your own research thoroughly before coming to a final decision. Until then, happy investing, everyone. Bye-bye.